Welcome back to the CardinalSports.com recruiting chat. I'm your recruiting analyst, Dave Lackford. You guys had the questions. I got the answers. Let's waste no time and get right into it, shall we? All right. The first question comes from Shoot677, whose avatar is him holding up an empty bottle of Jägermeister, which is nasty. Shoot677 wants to know, what three defensive commits do I see joining Flyville 23 soon? All right. First of all, three, really? You want three right now? They're not even like targeting three defensive players right now. They don't landed everybody, but you guys know I already put in a pick for Stanquan Clark, 4-star linebacker out of Florida. I expect him to be announcing probably this weekend. I'm sure somebody else asked me that question. I just do this off the head. I don't have any prepared answers, but that's my pick for the one defensive player joining this class. And then Shoot6 asked another question that's already been answered. I'm not going to get into that. Shonda97, he wants to know, who does Ruben Owens remind you of? If you don't know who Ruben Owens is, I don't know why you're watching this video, but he is a high four-star running back from Texas. I don't know. Why does everybody want to know who compares to who? Comparison's the thief of joy. You know, when you get a kid, everybody wants to know, who does he compare to? It's like a pattern of thought. It's like the football fans have this hive mind where everybody thinks alike and in patterns. I don't know, man. 24/7 says TJ Yeldon, but he's 5'11", 190, and TJ Yeldon was like 6'1", 210. So I don't know that comparison matches up. He runs kind of high. He puts his foot in the ground and gets upfield quick, but he also has good patience as well. So he can do a lot. It kind of reminds me of Todd Gurley a little bit, the way I watch him run as a high school kid. It's like upright, and he plays in some really bad competition out there in Texas. He's out in the middle of nowhere. So, I mean, I'm seeing him run by just 11 white boys. So, that's not what it looks like with his major competition. But he's fast. He runs like a 10.76 in 100, which is really fast for a running back. He's got long speed. He's got good patience. Kind of, Todd Gurley, Joe McKnight a little bit. Blast from the past. He reminds me of him a little bit. And then Shonda wants to know, who do I see being the most impactful kid on the field in 2 seasons? Well, hopefully it's the quarterback, Pierce Clarkson, or else Louisville's in trouble. So Pierce Clarkson. Card for Life 32. He wants to know, with the emphasis on adding transfers after the season, how many high school guys for 23 are we thinking? That's a good question. I think that the answer to that is probably going to be, they're not going to go dig down in the bottom of the barrel for kids. They're not going to go out and flip a kid from Toledo. They're not going to be out here trying to get into recruiting battles for kids that are going to be a project, in 2025. Maybe they start playing as redshirt sophomores or juniors. They'd have to have like an elite tendency or elite trait like Tyler Harrell speed. They're going to have to run the 100-yard dash in like a sub 10-3. Other than that, they're going to go for the transfers because it makes more sense, right? You got a kid that's already played at the college level, you know what he is, and you got film that translates better to what you want in the ACC, right? So I think that if they don't go after and hit some of these bigger name kids who have already been on campus, like the Caden McDonald's, players like that who've already visited, they're going to circle back on a few of those. If they don't get those, they'll look for the transfer portal. So I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 more high school kids. They got 13 now. I can see them trying to get, anywhere from 4 to 7, 20, something like that. So I don't know. It's a question that's really weird to answer right now because of where they're at in the cycle. They've gotten pretty much everybody they want, and they've missed on everybody they've missed on, right? So there's no real new data to go out and find new kids. So you're going to have to wait until the season starts, camps start coming in, where kids get remeasured, see if they weigh a little bit more, see if they've grown, or kids who might not have any film, like Micah Carter, the defensive end from St. X. He doesn't really have any film, so if he starts to dominate as a senior and you see what he can do, then the staff might reevaluate and say, all right, I'm really going to push for him. But I expect Purdue to push for him as well because Kevin Wallace's son, Ryan Wallace, works for Purdue. So I don't know. But anyway, that's not what you asked, but that's what I told you. Any 2023 targets currently committed to other schools, they are still after, they being the Louisville staff. I mean, shoot, let me think. Off the top of my head, I know that there was a cornerback who committed to he committed to Maryland. I think he's from Georgia. I think that maybe they'll circle back around on him if they're not able to flip Cole Martin. Kevin Clark was his name. I think they still stay in touch with Nathaniel Joseph, Ray Joseph, who was committed to Clemson and then went to Miami. He's still committed to Miami. He was rumored to be a lean to Louisville for a minute, but he's from Miami. He went down there. They closed the deal. So that's what that is. I don't know. We'll see. They'll swing back around, but they'll definitely stay in touch with players because you know how it is. You know, it's only a verbal commitment, which means it's worth the paper that it's printed on, right? Card blood. Can you give a breakdown of how many we're looking at each position from the high school ranks? No, they're not doing it that way. They're doing best available. They don't care about position. They're not going to say, well, I'm going to pass on this 4-star cornerback because I need to fill, we got enough corners and I need to fill a spot at guard or wide receiver. They're going to take whatever they can get. I was told specifically not to pigeonhole myself by going into that. Big Jake, who was your prediction for the next couple of 24 kids to jump on board? You want me to predict which sophomore or rising junior is going to commit to Louisville next? I don't know, man. Ty Card Niner, what's the story with Collins decommitted? Collins is Jeremiah Collins from Mount. He's like 150 pounds, man. When he committed, the staff didn't even know. Like he just put it out there on Twitter that he committed. So he's gonna have to eat and hit the weight room and put on some weight probably. So yeah, I haven't even heard anything or seen him get any more Power 5 offers or anything like that. But I mean, he's got potential. He just got to bulk up a little bit. That's a long-winded way of saying I think the staff wasn't really communicating with him like that. So he probably got the message and opened his recruitment back up. CC with a big 3. Some of these names, just use your name. Wants to know what's the word on Leviticus Sua. He's a 4-star linebacker from St. John Bosco. Yeah, Louisville still recruiting him. He's taking his time. I don't know how many linebackers specifically they're trying to take, or if he's one of those players that they'll take in lieu of them being filled at the position. But yeah, he's definitely being recruited, and he's an option for Louisville. He's going to be a minute though before he commits. And then he asked CC with a big A, also asked second question, do you think the 24 class is on track to be as good or even better than the 23? They have one commit, and the 23 class has 13, 7 of which are 4 stars. And they were the first kid they got in there was Green. The second guy they got was Clarkson. Clarkson's father's plugged into that scene out there in California. So I would say no. But it's good to still have that connection that they can build on it, possibly. It's just too early to make that call. Jay Grimes, 1320 asks, is Deuce Robinson still a real possibility? If not, any other tight end targets? Deuce Robinson is the #1 tight end, but he's not a tight end for Louisville. He's a wide receiver for Louisville. If you don't know who Deuce Robinson is, he visited during that big recruiting weekend. We'll pull him up real quick on here. I can't type. So this is Deuce Robinson right here. He's like 6'5". He's 6'5", 230 pounds. They got him as a tight end. He's actually a wide receiver as far as Louisville's concerned. I put in a future cast probably jumped the gun there, but I like to get ahead of it in case I win. But he's not going to commit anytime soon. But he really liked to visit. His father used to play at Florida State when linebacker coach Derek Nicholson was there. They know each other. That's the connection. They're friends. They're cool. So you got to think Louisville has a chance, but also you got to understand he's a borderline 5-star from the West Coast. There's going to be, the USCs of the world are going to try to come at him. So it's going to be a minute to find out whether or not Louisville truly has a shot, meaning will they sign him or not. But I didn't think they had a shot with Reuben Owens. I was like, they ain't going to get him. I was saying the same thing about DeAndre Moore. So they're not going to get him. But lo and behold, they committed. Will they sign? Don't know. But I think Louisville's more and more attractive now to a lot of these big time kids. So yeah, I think he's a real possibility still. Big Lou cards, any big D tackle, size or rank, U of L is actively recruiting for the 2023 class. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they have to reevaluate and they're going to take anybody that's good, not just position oriented. It's the best player out there that shows interest and is a real possibility to sign. Caden McDonald is a guy that they're still talking to. I don't know necessarily that he's the number one guy on their board or if they even have a board at this point, because like I said, they're reevaluating everything, but check back on it later, figure that one out. So long-winded way of saying, yeah, they're going to look at another D tackle. Right now, mainly they're looking at defensive ends. And I don't know why everyone is so obsessed with D tackle all the time because they have a bunch of them. But yes, they're gonna if one wants to come, they're gonna get them. Big Lou cards. Are there any local recruits that U of L is actively recruiting for a scholarship spot? 24 kid JT Haskins, the safety, I believe they're still recruiting him, and Micah Carter from St. X, they're recruiting him as well. Like I said, he's going to have a good senior season for them to really step up their efforts there. Say No More 6588. Welcome aboard. He's a new poster. Thanks for subscribing. He wants to know how strong is the Cali to the Ville connection with other recruits. It looks pretty strong to me because they've got like 5 dudes out of that. So I would say it's very strong. And then Say No More says, will we revamp a Florida to the Ville connection? I think Florida is always an option. You have to recruit Florida or you're not going to last long. And they've got 3 kids out of Florida so far. They got Jordan Church, Raekwon Atkins, and then they just got William Flo the other night. So, I mean, you got 3 kids, one of which is a 4-star in the top 250. The other one's a 5.7 corner at Raekwon Adams, who I really like. And then you have Jordan Church, who could get a bump in the rankings as well. So, yeah, they're doing well in Florida. They always have done pretty well in Florida. It's not Charlie Strong level well in Florida or even Bobby Petrino well in Florida, but they're getting the Florida guys. And yeah, you could see them maybe establish a pipeline down there again. Just got to hire the right type of you got to hire the right coordinator, and these assistant coaches, they come and go. So will we revamp? Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. Tron the Legacy says, will we take another quarterback in this class? No. If not, what are the chances they hit the portal for a transfer to compete against Clarkson? Slim to none. Jack 375747. A lot of numbers on there, Jack. Do you think Flyville 23 will become the norm if Sat stays? I don't know. It seems we're doing really well early on. 24 prospects. Sure, man. If Satterfield stays, Flyville 23 will become the norm. I mean, is it an aberration? I don't know. I'd say you keep the momentum rolling. Bill Underwood 2020. Does this class finish in the top 15 in the rivals rankings, in your opinion? No. Here's why. Once you get up to the top 20, top 15, it's hard to move up. And that's because the way that the rankings are set up, it makes it so that one 5-star is worth about, I don't know, 10 freaking 3-stars or 4 4 stars, and I'll show you what I mean right here. So if you want to go look at the recruiting rankings, let's look at the recruiting rankings here. Let's go to Alabama. All right. They are ranked 4th in the country. Okay. So here's how this shakes out. Okay. Notre Dame has 23 commits, they got 1 5-star and 19 4-star. That's 2,779 points. Louisville, on the other hand, has 7 4-stars and 13 total commits. So they have freaking 12 more 4-stars than Louisville does. All right. And they have 10 more commits and a 5-star. Now look at USC, right? USC is 13th. Louisville is 19th, right? USC only has 15 kids. They have 2 5-stars and 7 4-stars. So Louisville has no 5-stars and 7 and 13. So let's say if they get 2 more 5-stars, they'll probably be tied with USC, right? So that will put them at 13th. I don't see any 5-stars that are going to jump on board for Louisville. Maybe Deuce Robinson will be the highest rated kid, right? They'll probably jump Northwestern, but Northwestern's going to fall. You also got dudes creeping around out here. You got Michigan State at 13 with 8. Michigan State's going to up their game and get some more 4-stars. I know a couple that are on the verge of committing right now, but I'm not going to say any names because I don't work for Michigan State and I'm not helping them pay their bills. Oregon, 13. They got 1 5-star, right? But they only have 5 4-stars. So Oregon's going to get 2 more 4-stars, 3 more 4-stars soon, and they're going to jump up above Louisville. Now you might say, oh, well, Louisville might flip Cole Martin. Well, guess what? They'll replace Cole Martin with a 4-star. Cincinnati is at 21 commits. They won't be there long. But look, let's be realistic. Michigan ain't going to stay at 36. Florida State ain't going to stay at 39th. Freaking, I think Ole Miss is 57th. Auburn 61st. Where's Texas A&M? Texas A&M's 40th, 41st. They're going to get theirs, right? So all those schools are going to jump. North Carolina is at 30th right now. I don't know. Maybe they don't jump. I think Louisville finishes like top 25. Like they'll probably finish somewhere from 25, and they might finish top 20. Actually, they might be able to hold on to 19 or 20, somewhere in there. But I think I'm not seeing them having a top 15 team with the numbers. It's just too hard mathematically to get in there like that, Cards Rule the World says, aside from Deuce Robinson and Cole Martin, who are the 6 targets left on our board regardless of positions? Come on, man. 6. Come on. 6. You want me to tell you the 6 top targets? Look, Stanquan Clark is in there. The Sewell kid, the linebacker. I'm going to say, there's the one bull. Man, what's his name? He's a defensive end, long kid. He's definitely on there. He visited during the big weekend. Joseph Mupoyai, that's his name. He's a DN. You can look him up. He's definitely being recruited. You got the Sean Russ kid who put Louisville in his top 3. That's another option right there. So I don't know, man. Santana Fleming might be a guy. The Sean Russ cornerback is interesting. I never heard of him. He dropped the top 3 in Michigan, Florida State, Louisville, not in that particular order. To be honest, I don't know if he's a take for any of those schools. So keep an eye on him going forward. See if he visits. See who visits Louisville, because they're reassessing their board, and there's people that have visited before that they're definitely going to be reaching out to, and then there's going to be the people that put together good senior film that you've never heard of and that are doing well in the weight room, bulking up, getting a little bigger. Louisville's going to come after those guys, and if they don't hit on any more high school kids, they're just going to put an emphasis on the transfer portal, as they should. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. What else do we have? When's our guy Stanquan announcing? Card Blood, I swear to God, this weekend, dude. I heard this weekend. I hope this weekend, man. He's a Florida kid, and I am going to ban you. Jay Hector's, any rumblings of anything regarding Ryan Wingo? Why? Because Keith Wynn saw that kid liked the tweet that the other coach sent out? No, man. Stay off Twitter, Hectus. You know better than that. You've been here long enough to know better than be on damn Twitter following children. TDG Miller. Are we still recruiting Everett Rousseau? He's still an option, but like they're trying to wait on and see what Stan Kwan does. But yeah, they like him. The same thing with Sua. They like Sua too. They'll probably take Sua and Clark if they both want to jump on board. I think Rousseau will probably be the odd man out, but that's just my opinion. I haven't been told that. I don't know that they'll take all three. Who are the remaining DB targets? Cole Martin, they're trying to flip him, and I guess the other kid, Russ, they're looking at him. EKY card 643 wants to know, why did we stop recruiting Raymond Polito, the big tackle? He didn't stay with St. John Bosco. He transferred back somewhere else. Louisville can't really, kind of moves him out of the Clarkson type situation. So I think they were just like, yeah, you know what? He's all the way across the country. You know, we got 4. They will take another lineman though, offensive lineman. But I just think that they decided to cut bait there because, you know, it was time. You got to know when to cut bait on a recruit. Same thing with like a girl, you know what I mean? If the girl ain't giving you matching your energy, then you got to go somewhere else, right? I think that's the case with Polito. E5+1. Have you ever eaten at the Chinese buffet on 5th? If so, do you need to find coverage for afternoon court? Yo, man, that buffet's terrible. Most Chinese food, I've never had good Chinese food in Kentucky, not even at the fancy places. The meat's always like too chewy and they cook it too much or something. I don't know. And the vegetables are either too hard or they're all smushy. I don't know. It's not good. It's not like the North. North got the best Chinese food. Don't eat Chinese food in Kentucky. It's trash. Sushi is good. Japanese food is decent down here. Chinese food, I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's trash. The Infragable Crunk says, is there anyone on Flip Watch, either direction? Nah, not really. Not at this point in time. Everybody, there's nothing I'm seeing with Louisville's current commitments that make me feel like anyone should be insecure, right? I think they're fine. Cardinal Cash asks, who's the next wide receiver to jump on board in 2023? Are we taking any more O linemen in 2023? I don't have a particular name on the receiver. Yes, they will take an O lineman if he's good. And then Cardinal Cash has thoughts on the IMG Academy quarterback or whoever you previously put on commit watch accidentally. Do we lead? Yeah, I hit the wrong button on that. My bad. No, I don't know anything about 2024 quarterback right now. I know they're looking at a few options, but you know, I could put some names out and that could change in 2 months. So I'm not getting into that. All right. Elliot Lane says, what's up, Elliot? Elliot says, Dave's prediction for wins or losses for the 2022 season. I mean, they could win like 9 games, 10 games. The schedule's pretty weak. I don't really see any big threats really that they can't beat. You know, Clemson and Kentucky are problematic, but other than that, everybody on there is, you know, all bets are off. I mean, what are you afraid of? NC State, Wake Forest, James Madison, Syracuse, Boston College. I mean, they're college kids. They'll probably slip up and lose a game or something here and there. But I mean, they should win at least 8 for real. What position do you see the portal being used for in 2023? Elliot asked that. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens when the smoke clears after signing day and around that time. Right now, I don't really know. I can't tell you. Let me see something else. Hold on, where we are. Offensive recruiting has been solid. Defense, not so much. Is it evaluation or just inability to get better players? Man, you guys are rough, man. They got a 4-star corner. They got Donna J. Green, who's like a 6'5" dude with good burst. They got Raekwon Atkins, who's good. Jaden Davis, who's good. Come on, what do you want? What do you think you think there's Alabama or something? Defense has been fine, man. Bob West. Come on, Bob. Bob's my old head, though. Bob likes to poke the bear. I like it. Nah, Bob, I think the defense is fine. Oh, and they're going to get Stan Clark. That's what I'm told. So that's another 4-star linebacker. You just want big defense. You just want a Alabama level D tackle. You know, there's like 10 of those in the country. There's 10 D tackles in the country, and they all go to the SEC. They all go to the SEC. They go to Texas A&M. They go to Georgia. They go to LSU. They go to freaking Alabama. They go to Ohio State. Every now and then they'll go to no, that's it. They go to Ohio State, maybe Notre Dame. You're not getting that guy. All right. You're just not. Relax. All right. Go Card AJS says something stupid. Bet your video would be so cool. Why else would you do it on video when literally every other so-called expert puts it in print? Because the so-called experts are ugly and I look good on camera. How about that? Card Blood. His recruiting chat. Okay, that's not. All right, looks like this is just getting dumb now. Yeah, all right, this so the thread just devolves into nothing here. Yeah. All right, I think that's everything, man. That looks like all the good stuff has been answered. And that's about it. So we're gonna wrap this bad boy up because I got other work to do that is way more important than this. All right. So thank y'all for showing up. Until next time, peace.